Welcome to the Wokest Warren, where we have the Wokest Discourse. In this video, I want to talk about my ideological path from being a Bernie-crat to becoming a full-blown communist and joining the Communist Party. You may relate to some of the things in this video, and I'm interested how common this experience actually is. So, right from the beginning, I have to tell you that I was always anti-imperialist. That's why I think it's funny that there's this debate going on right now in American socialism about supporting American empire versus not supporting American empire. I'm like, I didn't support the American empire before I was socialist. All you have to do is look at the death and destruction that is caused by the imperial wars and the environmental pollution. Irreparable harm. Children in Vietnam today are still suffering from the effects of chemical weapons that were used there in the 1960s. So over 50 years ago. 50 years is not a long time. American empire was responsible for nuclear weapons. It's responsible for a lot of bad culture. By culture, I mean like movies. So if you start off opposing imperialism, you're already like light years ahead of the game. But in terms of being a socialist, I was a Bernie-crat, and I'm like, we don't even need to become communist. All we need is for people to have like enough food to eat and schools to go to and houses and healthcare and all of these things that human beings need to flourish. Like, I don't give a shit what form of government we have. If you want to do it under capitalism, that's fine with me. The problem, of course, is that capitalists don't want to do that. Capitalists are never going to want to do that. So, you take this like middle of the road socialist line saying, well, if you give us healthcare and you pay us a living wage, like we won't become communist. They don't care anymore. The Cold War's over. And as far as they're concerned, they won, which is silly to me considering China's world dominance of the economy. But you see what I'm saying? Like, you can be like, look, I don't really care about all this political shit. I just think that people deserve to have enough food to eat. Well, it's the phrase, you may not care about politics, but politics sure cares about you. Capitalism, the way it is set up, is not set up for people to give things away. It is set up for people to make a profit. And there's no profit in giving food to hungry people, and there's no profit to giving houses to homeless people. That's why it won't happen. You could say, well, if we had raised the minimum wage and we had a living wage, then people could just buy their own food and buy their own houses. Why will we not have a living wage? It's ideological. The capitalists will never pay you a living wage because they don't want you to stop working for them. If you can afford to go on strike, you have power. And so if everybody's paying a living wage, nobody is afraid of losing their job. Because if everyone's paying a living wage and you lose your job, you just go get a job somewhere else, making the same amount of money. There's no suffering involved. Capitalists want you to suffer, and they want you to suffer so that you go to work every day. It's that simple. That's all it is. They want us to be their slaves. Period. So, if it were possible that we could have a capitalist society with a very high standard of living, similar to what we had in the 1960s, but without the imperialism, that'd be cool. If we had that, I probably wouldn't have become a communist. I probably would have never joined the Communist Party. Because, I'd rather just watch TV. Don't you just love the bosses that tell you that the company is like a family? Yeah. Thanks for listening.